Hello, this is Gina, and today I'm going to do a video on how I make a card. I've already gone ahead and stamped my image, so I'm going to go through how I roughly did that. The stamps that I'm using is You Make My Tail Wag from My Favorite Things. I'm going to go ahead and place my stamp smooth side up. I swing my clear door over, and it's all ready. I'll go ahead and ink my stamp. I'm using Ranger's Archival ink in jet black. And then I stamp it. The nice thing is, if I didn't get a good image, I could go back and add more ink to my stamp and do it again. But I've got a very good image. And I'm using the Archival ink because I'm going to be watercoloring this and I don't want my ink to run. I'll go ahead and put my Misty away now. And I've got my watercolors ready to go. I have my acrylic block that I use and my water pen. I'm using my fine tip on this one. I'm going to start with some antique linen. Don't worry about keeping up with what I'm using where. There's a list down below of what I'm using, so you can always reference that. I'm going to go ahead and paint the area over his eye, his patch, and I'm going to go ahead and get his ear as well. By the way, before I lift my stamp off the Misty, I kind of forgot to cover this. I clean them real quick with a baby wipe. And the brand of baby wipes I use is Baby Ganix. They seem to work really well. I've been using them for 2 years now. They haven't harmed any of my stamps. I also really love their antibacterial hand sanitizer. I always keep it on my desk. I don't want my cards to get dirty from something on my hand, so I'm kind of constantly cleaning them. Now I'm going to be using some brush corduroy to paint the rest of my puppy. I got a little too much water there, but that's okay. There's always a balance between getting too much water and not enough water. That's one of the reasons I love these watercolor pens for doing my watercolor work. You can squeeze them and get a little bit more water, which is extremely helpful, or you can use less pressure and not have as much water, which is what I do most of the time. It really just comes down to learning what the right pressure for you is and what the right blend of water to ink is for you. Then I always squeeze out a little water from my brush to clean my palette and my brush head. You can see I also take my watercolor towel and use it to do a quick cleanup. Now I'm going to use some black soot. I kind of love the names of the different colors. Most of them really go with what they are. I'm going to make him a little black nose. There we go. My watercolor is done. So I'm going to set my watercolors aside. And I've decided I need to dry this just a little bit to make sure the colors don't run. I see my nose has ran a little bit, but that's okay. A lot of times when I'm doing a project like this, I will print out or I will stamp a couple of different cards so that I can pick the best one. I've decided I want to stamp on a couple of little paw prints just around my puppy. So I'm going to grab, I use the VersaFine ink quite a bit for different projects. This is a good place to use it. Also, because I'm stamping, but I'm stamping randomly, I have a Sizex foam pad that I use. And now I'm just going to randomly stamp some paw prints on here. That's a good amount. And again, I use my baby wipe to clean up my stamp. The one thing I've noticed is using like the VersaFine, which is a more water-based ink, it doesn't stain my stamps as much, where the archival ink will stain my stamps a bit. Now putting this all away, pull out my Scotch Advanced tape glider, which I love. I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on the back of my image. I have my back square already cut and ready to go. I'm going to just line this up. I tend to do it by eye. I have a measurement board that I can use, but honestly, most of the time it doesn't get me any closer to being where I want to be. So I do most things by eye. Now I'm going to take and place this on my piece of bread. And I cut the scallop on this using my Cricut. You could also use dies if you have them. I love my Cricut machine. It works wonderfully for these kind of things. I'm going to add some more tape to the back of red and place it on my main piece. Okay, I'm now going to take my card and I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to add tape to the back of the front of my card. I love the Advanced Tape Glider. It works so well for so many things. And now I'm going to take and place my card print on the front of my card. And make sure there's no overage. And there you go. There's my finished card. And you'll be able to buy this in my Etsy store. There will be a link for that down below. Make sure to check out all of the links below. There's a link for my nephew's YouTube channel as well, Raptor Brother. There, also make sure to subscribe so you can see more of my videos as I produce them, because I plan on making more. And leave comments if you have questions, if you want to know how I did something, or if there's something you would like to see in the future. Please make sure to leave comments below. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.